Hello everyone, my name is ADAORA ONYECHERE. I am the Executive Director for We Network Afrique, and I am also the host for Talk to ADAORA talk show, which airs on 99.9 Kiss FM Abuja. I'm also a quasi-politician, around for the Imo State House of Assembly 2019, and I am also the former Senior Special Assistant on Information and Advocacy to Right Honorable Emeki Ihedioha, the former governor of Imo State. So the first thing I know about the Osuka system is that they're a group of people who are ostracized from their homeland, especially based on the fact that there are some conversations surrounding their excommunication. One, I remember the term used by my forefathers and my grandfathers in Wadialas and the Dialas and such terms like Allah or Dinani. In further investigation, I found out that those people who seem to be classified as this class of people were people that they supposedly thought were banished from the land because they were offered as sacrifices to gods at those times. It seems like talking about a certain species of people from a different point of view, but we're talking about human beings. There has been a committee and a commissioning of elders across the Southeast where there was a conversation that decreed that no one else should be termed as an Osu, or that the banishment of Osuka system was totally enshrined in the laws of the lands in the Southeast. However, I do specifically say that it is still very much practiced. The conversation that surrounds Ijuese in Igbo land, Maro law, those terms, I oftentimes used to wonder that it was just some sort of activity to precede your traditional marriage rights. However, from investigation, I have come to find out that it is more so hinged on the fact that families of those to get married would want to investigate if their kings or their children or those who they want to marry are quote-unquote Osus or ostracized, beyond the whole investigation of family background and profiling. Even those who are birthed in Christian homes where you have people who are knights in churches and pastors and ordained men of God and all of that, they still practice it in secrecy. I call it a higher level of racism. If you ask me, it is a higher level of racism. We are all over the world saying stop blacks, stop whites against black. But right now, right here in our homeland, in Nigeria, we are practicing a bigger racism than the rest of the world. And that is the Osuka system. Advocacy, orientation, sensitization, just like, what POHA is doing at the moment. There should be a significant awareness campaign at the rural environment, at the villages, the Ndiezes, Undiugwezes, the Umwadas. These are the people who are in charge of indoctrination, especially at that level. So the orientation and the advocacy should begin from the basic, cadre of the ladder, and that is at the rural level. We should be shouting this from the rooftops. It's not being spoken about enough. They say when you want to hide something from an African man, hide it in the book. But these days, we are reading on social media. We are visible on social media. There is a lot of conversation happening on the front of the TV, more so than books. I'm not saying don't read, but you're looking at the avenue where you have better numbers of people and a higher number of population. And that's the social media. And POHA is very strong with that. So I'm saying that, this should also be enhanced through civic education in schools. I believe that, if we're looking to change mindset, we're also looking to start it young. POHA should look at, collaborating with agencies and institutions like SUBEB, UBEC, TETFON, institutions that look at thought processing of young people. And I think that, for me, that is catching the next generation of leaders to think outside the classification of all of this ethnic, jagabonds. It's like asking me if an Osu man will go to heaven. You know, we are all, you know, susceptible to judgment on the last day. And I'm a Christian, and I believe that God does not see a shoe on the forehead of somebody, or will judgment day see, you know, newborn, freeborn, you know, little born on the forehead of any human being. I think that the question is not to the individuals who are shrouded in this, you know, conspiracy, who love themselves. I think it's the environment that surrounds them, the parents, the elders, you know, the uncles. That is where the big question is. The question should be, how will you deal with those who refuse you to marry the one you love, Osu or not? And I think that my answer would be, first of all, to let them understand that if they cannot do this in the open, then they might as well allow you to marry in the open. Because at the end of the day, it is me and the person that will live in one house. It is the person I'm getting married to, not the parents. It is the person I'm getting married to, not the environment. So I'm saying, mom, dad, you need to sit down and have that heart-to-heart talk. Look at the happiness that your daughter is going to encounter if she marries that person. Look at the happiness your son is going to encounter if he marries that person. Does their happiness count, or is it about the stigma you have placed because of your ego and the branding of culture in the environment? How can prejudice be silent? You know, that's the first question that comes to your mind. But then when you look at the dictionary meaning of prejudice, you find out that it echoes exactly the in between the lines of what the word silence seems to depict in the movie. You're seeing role models, you're seeing great actors, you know, who are showing strength in character behind the characters that they're acting, telling the story of our everyday lives as simple as they can, with a lot of detailed, in-depth analysis. When you begin to watch the program, you probably look in between the line and you would see for yourself what great work of advocacy is being done with this series. If you haven't watched it, please, I implore you all to take a seat, program yourself, set your alarm, and please sit back, perhaps with a hot cup of tea or something, and call your friends, because it's a re-education going on in that series. It shows on AIT at 9 p.m. every Wednesday. Do not miss it for the world.
To support this fight and be part of this advocacy, visit our website www.pohai.org.ng and www.nhrc.gov.ng. You can also follow us on our social media handles. POHI and NHRC, beautifying humanity.